Hello and welcome. My name is Faisal from Phoenix Academy. In this lecture, we are going to learn how to generate a strong password, remember it, and keep it safe. Imagine what could possibly happen if a hacker gets hold of your passwords. The password account, your Facebook password, your email password. The result is devastating. A hacker in possession of your online banking account can empty the whole of your account. Email and social media account, your Facebook account, your LinkedIn account, your Gmail account, can use it to impersonate you, perform an identification theft on you, defraud you, scam others related to you, and deny you access to those accounts. The importance of generating a strong password can therefore, and keeping it secure, be overemphasized. Being online makes you exposed to hackers and other fraudsters looking forward to an opportunity to defraud you. However, not any password is completely unbroken. Given enough time and adequate computing power, brute force attack can crack any password. A computer cluster that can cycle through as many as 350 billion guesses per second has been unveiled by a password cracking expert. The cluster has an enormous speed that can try every possible 8-character password in less than 6 hours. So just imagine the capability of this supercomputer. The rationale behind creating a strong password is to slow down the attackers and perhaps frustrate their efforts. However, a strong password is hardly an obstacle in a targeted, advanced, persistent threat attack. Nation-state actors, because they have every resource at their disposal to break down a password. Money or resource is never an obstacle to advanced persistent threat actors. Ways of generating a strong password. So how do we generate a strong password? You can type randomly on your keyboard to generate a strong password. As we can see example on the screen, by typing randomly, we're able to generate this password that comprises of the letters of the numbers 2, 4 and the letters 0LG, OLG, 5, ampersand, exclamation mark, 5, FG, 7, 9. The generated password has the features of a strong password. It is random. There's no any pattern between this password. We can't see any established pattern on this password. It consists of mixed cases and it contains letters, numbers, and special symbols. Also, it is 14 characters in length, so it is definitely a strong password. But the bond of contention is remembering such a password. Imagine if you have to generate similar password for many of the accounts you have online, your Facebook password, your LinkedIn password, your Instagram password, your Twitter password. You have to remember such a password. You know it is going to be a huge Herculean task. Passphrases could be generated and used instead of a password. For example, it is raining cats and dogs today. So we have used this passphrase as a password. We can see the first word it begin is a capital letter. The next word is the I capital letter, the T small letter lowercase. The is in uppercase. The next word raining in lowercase. So like that, we're able to make a variation between uppercase and lowercase in the words. And possibly where we have and, we make use of ampersand to represent and then two, to, we make use of the number 2. So in that situation, we have a mixture of uppercase and lowercase, and we have special symbols and we have numbers. So this makes it to be a very strong password. and there's not any pattern that is easily seen in this passphrase. So therefore, this qualifies to be a very strong password. Instead of using a whole passphrase, password could be generated by selecting some of the letters from a sentence to create a random password. For example, picking one letter from each word, a password could be generated from the sentence. For instance, the evening news is at 12 noon every Monday to Friday. From it, we can be able to generate this password. T from the word the, and E from the word evening, and we're able to get the letter N from the word news, and I from the word is, and at we make use of the symbol at. We make use of the number 12, and noon we make use of the letter N. So up to every Monday to Friday, we were just able to extract a single letter from that word, and this is of course convenient, and it could be easily remembered as a password, and it qualifies as a strong password because we have a variation of uppercase and lowercase, we have special symbol, and we have numbers, and therefore this qualifies as a strong password. The do's and don'ts of password creation. So these are some of the rules that we should follow creating our password. Consider using a foreign language other than English to generate your password. So because hackers make use of a tool called a dictionary, and dictionary comprises mostly of English letters. So if you use words from a language other than English, you stand a chance against the dictionary attack. Never store password in your browser. So don't ever check on that remember me checkbox, which will store a cache of your password in the browser, which could be used for authentication in subsequent times when you log in to that account. So don't allow your browser to store your password. Use password along with other forms of authentication to form a two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication. So you can use a password alongside a token or a biometric means of identification, say your thumb. So if there is a chance for you to make use of password along with another means of authentication, use it to form a two-factor authentication or a multi-factor authentication. Never text or email anyone your password. So do not send your password via SMS or email to anyone under any circumstance. Never use the same password across several accounts. For every account, you should have a single password. Don't use any information that will be easily traced back to you as a password. For instance, your nickname, the name, your hobby, the name of your pet. Don't use that because a hacker can easily perform what we call information gathering, because hackers, before they hack, they perform information gathering reconnaissance. He can gather information on you, on your interest, your hobby, your nicknames, go over your social media post, and he can be able to get this information. And when he try to attack your account with this information, he will succeed. If you make use of your nickname, your pet name as your password, he'll be able to compromise your account. Don't share your password with anyone, your spouse, your colleagues, your friends. Don't share your password with them. Don't write your password anywhere, especially on post-it notes or on a piece of paper, and keep it on your desk. Don't ever do that. Passwords should be at least 8 characters long, and the longer they are, the more secure they are.